Welcome to the American Heart Association's National Heart Walk Executive Champion and Company Leader Summit. I'm Michael Privet. I'm your host for today, and you are joining me from my home base in Atlanta. And I could not be more grateful for your incredible support of the AHA and that you're joining us today for this incredible program. As we get started, I want you to take a moment, go ahead and drop in the chat what city you're joining us from and what you love about the Heart Walk in your city. Today's program is intended to energize your Heart Walk efforts as you think through your plans for this year's campaign. You're going to hear from your peers on how they've rallied their companies, employees, vendors, friends, and families to support those affected by heart disease and stroke. And with Giving Tuesday just around the corner, you'll hear some ideas to leverage this National Day of Giving to impact your campaign early when people are thinking about year-end giving. We'll also share our new Heart Walk coach experience that will make being a coach this year even more rewarding. It's our way of saying thank you for the leadership our coaches provided in rallying thousands of walkers all across the nation. Trust me, all of you may want to sign up as a coach after you hear what's coming. Your leadership and support of the Heart Walk within your organizations is saving lives, and it's improving the health of your employees and your communities. The funds you help raise reduce ongoing risk for heart disease by helping people reduce their risk factors by learning to self-monitor their blood pressure or understanding the importance of quitting smoking or vaping. We help communities provide access to healthy foods and fund critical research to advance medical technologies that save lives. You make all of this happen, and we are so glad to have your support. So, let's get started with our program today. First up, we're going to hear from our friends at Raymond James and Associates who have been supporting the Heart Walk for 11 years, an incredible run. And their Heart Walk in Tampa Bay is this Saturday, so it's hot off the press. So you are getting real-time strategies from two amazing volunteers. Joining us now are President and CEO of Raymond James and Associates, Tosh Elwin, and Senior Manager for Branch Change Management, Amanda Pilcher, who will share how their teams have raised over the last 7 years a collective $2.4 million for the AHA, along with an update on their results this year in advance of their event on Saturday. I think some big things are coming. So first, Tosh, thanks for being here. It is an exciting week in Tampa with Saturday's Heart Walk. I hear that you have just exceeded, I don't want to steal too much thunder, I have heard you've exceeded your $400,000 company goal and have more than 500 employees participating. Just incredible results. I have to imagine that to surpass your goal, you got to be doing a lot of good things. A lot of keys to success, engaging executives who certainly are leading by example through the Executives with Heart campaign, engaging your business partners. I know you've got an incredible internal planning committee that's recruiting coaches and helping personally invite employees to participate. So needless to say, we're excited to hear more about your success and the many takeaways that you'll share with all the companies that are on today's call. So let's start there. Could you share maybe with us why Raymond James is really all in for the AHA and why you personally lead your company's support at the Heart Walk as the executive champion?
Sure, happy to. And thank you so much, Michael, and to the entire team for inviting us to join you all today. It's definitely an honor and a privilege to be here. In terms of my why and the Raymond James why, and I begin with stating the obvious, which is that heart disease and stroke have touched every single one of us in this country, if not directly, certainly indirectly through friends and family and colleagues and so forth. And so that in and of itself should be motivation enough, but making it even more personal. What first got me involved in supporting the Heart Walk was one of our colleagues, Shelley Church, who very sadly lost her son, Kyle, while he was in high school to congenital heart disease. And anyone that's met Shelley knows that she is a force to be reckoned with. And she has single-handedly gotten a great number of us, particularly in senior leadership at Raymond James, rallied around the mission of the American Heart Association. So that was my first why. My second why was even more personal than even that, in that my nephew Leo was born with a congenital heart defect, which thankfully was identified and diagnosed soon after birth. And through a series of 2 different life-extending and really life-saving surgeries at CHOP, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, he's now a very vivacious and rambunctious teenager, and living a very healthy and happy life. And so it's really those 2 whys, among others, that got me so involved with this.
That's powerful. Thank you, Tasha. I appreciate you sharing that. One of the words you mentioned here is sort of executive commitment. And so I'd love your perspective on how you've been able to get so many executives in the Raymond James Company to rally around your Heart Walk campaign.
Yeah, so at risk of oversimplifying it, Michael, what I would share with the audience today is that, and I think it really comes down to 2 things. One, sharing the stories, the very personal stories of how this touches all of us. And then secondly, it's asking, and the power of asking should never be overlooked. And we have no shyness, if you will, about asking our colleagues in senior leadership throughout the firm to get involved with this, both in terms of their own financial support, but then also as an extension of that, encouraging their respective teams to support this as well.
For those listening on the call, we're referring to Executives with Heart in Tampa. You might know that a citywide executive challenge, whatever you call it, we know that it's important to be engaging executives at the highest level. Employees are often looking to say, is this something the company's all in on? And that executive presence certainly creates that energy. So thank you, Tosh. So I'm hearing lead by example, such an important point, and thank you for that. And of course, with Giving Tuesday, as I mentioned earlier, right around the corner, it's November 30th, if that's what you're looking on your calendar. You probably already have Black Friday on your calendar, so you should have Giving Tuesday on there too. And then the Business Partner Campaign, I know, has made a tremendous difference. I'm hearing that the number was somewhere around $120,000 that was netted out from your business partner support. Tosh, maybe you could share a little bit more about that business partner response to the campaign.
Sure, happy to. And I think in so many ways, it's not just about the culture of your own firm, but it's also about having great alignment culturally from a value standpoint with your partners and with your vendors. And so at Raymond James, we're very proud to share both internally, but also externally with everyone that we work with, our passion around supporting the American Heart Association and the Heart Walk. And so we've been very proactive in various business units within the firm of reaching out to our vendors and to our partners and making sure they have awareness of Raymond James's commitment to this, and sharing those stories around our whys, and then asking them to participate shoulder to shoulder with us. And we're thrilled by how generous they've been in doing so. And again, it begins with the storytelling, and then the simple but important act of asking.
Yeah. I'm told that you've really start this early in the season, maybe even as far early as 9 months out from the walk, and that you're doing some creative things like for those business partners that are donating by a certain date, there's a chance to sort of have some special FaceTime with members of the Raymond James executive team. Do you see a good response to that? Even 9 months out from the walk, do they seem receptive to hearing about it and being open to some of the things you guys are doing?
Certainly, and although the heart walks that we all participate in have a finish line per se, there's really no finish line with the campaign. And so the minute that we wrap up one heart walk here in Tampa Bay, the team might rest for just a millisecond, and then we're right back at it for the coming year and planning all of the outreach and the contact, both internally, but certainly on this topic externally, with all of our partners and vendors. And so we're reaching out to them, I would say, early and often. So it's throughout the year. And then we certainly, as you just noted as well, Michael, we're looking to create opportunities to create additional access and audiences as well, in appreciation for our partners supporting the mission of the AHA.
Well, thank you, Tasha. We're honored that you joined us today. We know you have to sign off, but we can't thank you enough for joining us. And we will all be celebrating with you this weekend during your Heart Walk in Tampa. So good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Amanda, let's turn to you. Maybe you could tell us how your role as company leader works in partnership with Tosh as sort of the executive champion, and why does this partnership work, and what are some of those keys to success that other company leaders might take away from the incredible work that you all have done at Raymond James?
Well, I have to say, I mean, a lot of it is having an executive sponsor like Tosh, who has an absolute passion for the AHA, who's not afraid to ask for those big donations from vendors, from business partners, and from other executives. So while he's rallying the executives at the firm to support our cause, it allows space for me to focus on engaging our associates and their fundraising at a much more sedate level than at the executive level.
Yep.
So I would say from our experience, we've found that, like you were just talking about, starting really early, if we have a plan, it makes it so much easier to make it through the rest of the year. And so like everybody else that's here today, I love this summit that happens for the fall Heart Walks because it helps me stop and think ahead and plan for what we need to do. So we would normally have our first planning meeting, like y'all were talking about, several months before the campaign. So we gather in March or April before our November event. We kind of block out what needs to happen when and who we want to engage for kickoffs and other activities. Fortunately, being at Raymond James, as Tosh said, we have a lot of executives, we have a lot of high-powered individuals who are very willing to share their whys, which just drives engagement because it becomes personal. It becomes something that's easy to understand why we want to support the Heart Association. On my side of the equation, I've also found that having an associate-led Heart Walk committee promotes engagement. We allow people to use their natural talents to help our campaign. So we focus on having someone to help Tosh with the business partner outreach, someone who's outgoing, who loves to talk to people, who wants to be more involved. We have someone who focuses on our internal communications and putting together like our internal communication plan. We have someone like me for just general communication, directing across all departments. We have someone who kind of speaks to wellness. And then the most important cog in this is our AHA staff partner, who provides us absolutely everything that we could ask for. And then we divide and conquer, so nobody's overwhelmed.
Yeah. I love that. It seems like obviously people think about the company leader role and the executive champion. It sounds like you've actually created a lot of different leadership roles, ways for folks to step up beyond being a Heart Walk coach, but to own different pieces of this. And does it seem like that folks that they enjoy sort of having ownership of a piece of this big undertaking that the company is so passionate about?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Being able to allow associates and employees. Sorry, we have some employees that are not employees, they're contractors, so I call them all associates. But having that, allowing them to assume those leadership roles, getting to meet Tosh, getting to meet other executive committee members that they probably wouldn't have an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with in their day-to-day work, absolutely spurs that engagement. And the willingness of our executives to reciprocate that, just, it's a perfect match. It just works out well.
I love that. I mean, I know that you oversee coach and walker recruitment and engagement really specifically. That's a part that you own very directly. So could you share why coaches are so important? So you've got all these different roles, but I think it comes down to coaches in the end. How do you recruit them? How do you keep them engaged? What's the secret sauce for you?
So the importance of coaches is that, I mean, I couldn't do it without my coaches. And I think if you're, I know we have companies of all size on the call, but I think if you're, at a company that has more than a couple teams, right? These coaches are the ones that help you disseminate all of that information, helps you keep in contact, helps the engagement with the other associates. It's also a leadership role for them because the coach can be anybody in the department or anybody in the sub-department that we have. And having a coach who's your colleague is sitting next to you in your department, ask you to join their team, it's so much more personal,
right,
again, than having a random email campaign that necessarily just comes out from HR or something like that. So by seeking for coaches who are embedded throughout the company, it really makes it, again, more personal. There are more stories to tell. There's more whys explained. and everybody becomes more engaged.
I love that. I'd imagine, I don't know how many employees in total are at Raymond James, but it would be a bit overwhelming to try to organize that without sort of some structure there. So
Yes.
That's great. Can you talk a little bit about some of the year-round activities that maybe keep the conversation going? I'm thinking about Wear Red Day, an example in February. I know you all do a lot around that time of year. Would you share a little insight about how you keep that energy going?
Absolutely. So in addition to Tosh, who is leading the board right now for the executive challenge, we also have 2 senior women who sit on Go Red for Women, which Wear Red Day is a part of the Go Red for Women campaign in February, who are also happy to share their whys. We're able to have meetings with them, engagements with them, where they discuss the importance of education. We tie it in with our women's group to talk about the importance of education for women in this area where the symptoms can be so different from those that men experience. We try to make sure that we're reaching out to everybody in the company in again, keeps going back to personal and personal ways.
Yeah, I love that. Now, I imagine as things get closer, you start ramping up toward this Saturday's event, that the cadence of communication ramps up too. So I know a lot of folks may be thinking now, oh my gosh, how do we get all that communication? I know that for you actually write a lot of this communication yourself, but if you're panicked on today's call, you should know that your HA staff partner also has great email templates to help with that. But talk a little bit about the importance of keeping this on folks' radar with that weekly communication as you build toward the finish line.
So the way that we've found to structure around our campaign, because of the size of we are with 50 plus teams and 500 plus walkers, is we do tend to be a little more organized. But I think that this is scalable to any size organization. About 2 months before our Heart Walk, we host a company-wide kickoff that Tosh and other executives speak at, share their why, and that's where we really start recruiting coaches and walkers for that year's specific Heart Walk. And then after the kickoff, our committee hosts 15-minute calls once a week. We do ours at 9 o'clock on Thursday mornings. We maintain a 5-slide PowerPoint deck that is very simple and straightforward. It just has our goal and our gap to goal. It'll have whatever we're highlighting that week, which honestly is my staff partner, me saying, what can we highlight this week? Oh, let's highlight how to do a Heart Walk fundraiser for Facebook. How do we download the app? What's in the reward center, right? We just pick something each week and then pull out helpful tips, which I use. I live in the Heart Association headquarters. The resources that are in there, the text of the emails, the text of the text for texts that is in there, everything is right there at my fingertips, and I can copy and paste. And then speaking of the email communication, so every week after that 15-minute call, I attach the deck, I copy in, I pick an email for that week that I want to copy out of the Heart Walk headquarters to say, ask everybody on your team to send out one email this week, to do one social media post, and make sure they send their thank yous. And here's the language you can use this week. Copy and paste it into your own email, personalize it if need be, but it takes the difficulty of the ask way down for our individual walkers, just using the resources on the Heart Walk website.
Love it. Well, thank you. You make it sound easy. I know it is not. You shared such great tips. We appreciate hearing about your Heart Walk experiences that I know will help everyone on today's call think about those strategies they want to take back, no matter the size of their organization. So you have fun this weekend at the walk. Congratulations on surpassing your goal. I hear it's about $420,000 to date. That's amazing. I hope you're hearing rounds of applause all across America for an incredible impact. So we appreciate you, Amanda, and the entire team at Raymond James. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
So that's the perfect way to go into our next segment, where we ask executive champions and company leaders from across the country to share advice for fellow executive champions and company leaders to be successful. Let's hear what advice they had for their peers. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Shonda Morrow, and I'm the Vice President of Patient Care Services and Hospital Affairs at Rush University Medical Center. And I was this year's American Heart Association Co-Executive Champion. I've got 5 quick tips. 1, engage. 2, be patient. 3, set a stretch goal. 4, have fun. And 5, bring your marketing and communications team on board. Those are my tips. Thank you.
Hi, this is Scott Wooten, Board Chair of the Northeast Florida Heart Association. The most important thing is that you bring your passion, you bring your friends, and that you help build the team of leaders around you for this life-saving mission.
Make sure everyone feels included. Once you get everyone on board and to feel included and a part of that vision and where you're trying to go, it goes a long ways. It goes a long ways with the team members that work at your company. It goes a long ways with everyone involved. The more people feel involved and engaged, the more they'll want to participate. And obviously participation is the biggest thing. You know, the fact that we could give back to the communities that our sites were involved with, that was a big deal. Our team members loved the fact that they could give back to the communities that they work in every single day.
They say good advice is rarer than rubies. Thank you to all our volunteer leaders who shared those gems of tips from around the country. Before we hear from our next guest, take a moment to share in the chat why you support the AHA or perhaps who you walk in honor of. Now we're heading to Greenville, South Carolina to hear from another executive champion and company leader dynamic duo. Joining us from regional management is CMO Jim Ryan and Senior Manager for Corporate Communications, Jennifer Baker. Regional Management is a second-year company that went from raising $44,000 in their first year, not bad, to nearly tripling that total with $121,000 raised this year. We can't wait to hear their story. Jim and Jennifer, welcome. Jim, thanks for joining us. Why does regional management support the AHA by participating in the Heart Walk?
Well, first off, I'd just like to say thanks again for including us on this discussion. It's a true honor for me to represent the company and our awesome team members throughout the country that have done such hard work in support of the AHA the last couple of years. As to your question, like a lot of companies over the last few years, we've really stepped up our focus on corporate social responsibility. And one aspect of that emphasis is finding the right way to both give back to our communities and also engage our employees in a cause that is at the same time very impactful and very personal. What's been especially cool to see, at least in our case, is that our employees around the country have really jumped in with both feet. And it's almost as if they were just waiting or begging to be asked to get involved. We've all been inspired, in fact, by a number of stories, unsolicited stories, I might add, that our folks have shared in regards to their connection to the AHA and why they are so motivated to support the cause. These heart stories have helped us to personalize our efforts in a very real way. Additionally, back to your direct question, our participation has helped us to connect with like-minded leaders across our market area and help to further establish regional management as a responsible member of and contributor to our local community.
Jim, speaking of leadership, you've also committed to being the 2023 Heart Walk Chair for Greenville, South Carolina, extending your support of the Heart Walk to the overall citywide campaign. First, congratulations. Thank you for your leadership commitment. I'd love your insights on this. Regional management has locations all across the country. How does your involvement with the Heart Walk bring your team closer together?
Yeah, that's a really good question because it's actually been a pretty significant collateral benefit of our involvement. We have an interesting challenge, I guess probably not unlike Raymond James or other companies, but we have a core workforce of a couple hundred people in our home office here in upstate South Carolina. But we also have 350 or so branches all around the country, each of which has a staff of 3 to 5 people. So we're fairly spread out geographically, and especially given what the last 18 months has been like, some of our folks are in fact fairly isolated. Our AHA campaigns, however, have given us a common rallying point and a real sense of pride and actually accomplishment, as it turns out. So we really feel like we really tapped into something and ignited the passions to simply be a part of something bigger. Yeah. It's also worth mentioning that just about 2 years ago, we launched an internal brand for corporate responsibility efforts called Regional Reach. It required a little bit of work and a few dedicated folks to get it off the ground, but we did not add any staff. We didn't add any big budgets. We didn't put a ton of infrastructure in place. We did, however, make our 2020 Heart Walk campaign the flagship component of our launch. And it really, honestly, it helped folks understand and get on board with what we're trying to do in the big picture.
Yeah, that's great. Jim, could you share some, I know regional management is actually involved in multiple ways. Could you share a little insight in the different ways that you're supporting the AHA?
Sure, I would love to. First, on the company level, we're a proud sponsor of the Upstate Heart Walk here in our market. And I'm especially pleased to share that we've stepped up to be the presenting sponsor of that walk for the next 2 years. We're grateful for that opportunity to provide support and the related benefit of giving our employees the chance to support and participate in the walk themselves, hopefully as a team and in person this year. And second, for the past 2 years, we've also executed a corporate match to our employee contributions to the tune of nearly $50,000. And lastly, on a more personal level, we've had representation on the executive leadership team for the past 2 walks. And as you mentioned, I myself have recently joined this team and look forward to serving as its chairperson for the 2023 walk. So it's very exciting to be able to increase our engagement on both the corporate and personal level.
Incredible. Jennifer, let's turn to you. First, thank you for your leadership and congratulations on such a successful campaign. What can you share about how you found success in running the campaign?
Thank you, Michael. I'm very excited to be here. It's quite an honor. I think, I'm a little bit biased given my role in corporate communications, but when we look back over the last 2 years, I can say without a doubt that communications definitely played a key role. As Jim mentioned, our company, we're spread out all across the country. So one of the first things we did was to form a committee from representatives of both home office and the field to come together to create a plan that focused on participation and competition. It was very important for us to create something that everyone felt that they could participate in. So we created a list of activities that were both easy and accessible. This started with something as simple as a healthy kickoff breakfast when we did our kickoff campaign. We had March Madness contest where every team member could enter a bracket for free with a chance of winning PTO. We also did wellness week activities that were very simple activities that people could do during their day at the work day. And for anyone who did 5 of the 10 days, they were also entered into a raffle for PTO because we all enjoy PTO. Next, we created a communication plan to support our campaign strategy. Obviously we wanted something that was consistent and would help build momentum as we neared the Heart Walk. And this was where, we really worked with our AHA staff, and a special shout out to Margaret if she's watching. But they helped us develop our communication roadmap. And, anytime we picked up the phone, anytime we needed guidance, they were actually physically there pre-COVID to help us, get our feet on the ground and up and running. And next, another thing that was key to our campaign success, without a doubt, is the buy-in we received from the top. Whether we proposed handing out PTO or we were encouraging employees to work during or exercise during their workday, or even proposing playing Eye of the Tiger as we introduced our coaches on the kickoff call, our executives were 100% behind everything we suggested. Maybe they were afraid, but they did it. Our CEO, Rob, and JR actually kicked off our campaign on a company-wide call. So again, everyone was involved. And, after we kicked things off, our communication team sent out weekly emails with newsletters, and we leveraged content from the AHA website along with our own personal stories and tips and things. We focused on building engagement with the leaderboard. So, everyone always could kind of see which team was in the front. We focused on health and wellness challenges. And we also featured a Why I Walk series that actually showcased regional employees who had their own personal heart stories to share. So again, this helped us form a connection with the Heart Association right off the bat. Finally, as you can imagine, with our employees all over the country, our digital strategies were key to helping us build engagement. So one thing we did, we leveraged our company's intranet, and we actually built a page that was just dedicated to our Heart Association campaign. And it included all of the communications, the newsletters, but we also actually had pictures of our coaches with links directly to their page on the Heart Association website. So all they had to do was click on a link, they would go there and they could join their team. So again, trying to make things easy and accessible from start to finish.
I love it. So communication, executive support, employee incentives. I mean, it seems like you just had this perfect recipe of activities to keep everybody energized.
Yeah. And, again, I think as anyone would attest, it's not one thing that led to the success. It was everything coming together. So it was our employees' engagement and their passion. And, it was the matching gift that Jim mentioned. Our executive buy-in was critical. And, it really did. It all came together, and it created a fun experience, and it also created quite an impact.
I'd love to hear a little bit about the campaign theme that you had from this past year and how it helped contribute to you hitting the overall Heart Walk goal.
Yep. So our theme campaign was 120/80, which of course was to draw attention to a normal blood pressure range. So we set an initial goal of $80,000 and a stretch goal of $120,000. And from kickoff all the way through the virtual Heart Walk, all the communications featured this goal, and it really focused on our mission and kept that message at the forefront. Now, setting a goal and reaching a goal obviously are two very different things. So we did what was logical, and we formed teams. And between home office and the field, we had 16 teams that were led by coaches and co-coaches, which is very difficult to say. And we had 608 walkers. Now, for us, when we said $80,000, before we even announced anything, we thought we needed to make this seem a little bit more attainable, because that is really a large number. And so we took extra care in our communications to break that number down into some kind of segments that feel a little bit more attainable. So like if all 16 teams raised $6,000, we hit our goal. If 125, or if all our branches raised $125, we would hit our goal. So again, we just wanted to make everything feel attainable, but also kind of pump up the healthy competition. Once we passed the $80,000 goal, which we did, we took it up a notch, and we ran a business partner campaign where we asked our vendors to help us reach our goal, and we were able to raise almost $20,000. And so this final push really helped us get to our $120,000 stretch goal. And I can say it motivated our employees to stick with it all the way through, and we all walked across the finish line together.
I love that. 120/80 never sounded so good. A brilliant way to cement those goals in people's minds. Jennifer and Jim, these are amazing results, fantastic growth going into your year 2 of support. Thank you to you and your team, the incredible supporters that you've rallied behind us. We wish you the very best of luck heading into the next year. Everything you shared is a great reminder that there are so many ways to bring the energy, motivation, and most importantly, the mission to your campaign. So thank you both. So today is all about helping you think ahead and see your path to success as you hear these best practice strategies. Some of you have walks in February, others in June. Our goal is to help you get a step ahead no matter when your event is happening. Now, we're going to talk about a new planner to help you build and execute your plan and the new coach experience. First, in the spirit of planning for success, we have a new Heart Walk company planner for you. This resource, which will be provided to you by your local staff partner, will help you pull together this year's plan with your local HA staff partner. And once your goal is set, you'll have the resources, tools, and strategies for success you've heard from our friends at Raymond James and Regional Management. So if you missed anything today, it's going to be all in the planner. Make sure to talk to your local staff partner after this call to set up a time to get a copy and walk through it and allow them to help you build your personalized plan. In this planner, you'll build your game plan, learn more about key campaign boosters and resources to help you be successful. So let's talk about it. Number one, a business partner campaign. This engages your vendor business partners to join your team campaign with a gift. You heard how both Raymond James and regional management enhance their fundraising efforts with this strategy, and pretty significantly. You already have a number of companies that rely on your business. Now is the perfect time to involve them in what is important to your company. Number two, executives with heart. Here, you're asking your company executives to jumpstart your campaign and lead by example alongside your employees by raising over $5,000. And again, I can't say it enough, with Giving Tuesday right around the corner on November 30th, the timing could not be more perfect to ask for their support. They're likely already thinking about their end of year giving. Number three, top walkers. Our top walkers are those walkers raising $1,000 or more for their campaign. Every single coach should strive to have at least one top walker on their team. Having a good recognition and plan for these fundraising rock stars, maybe something as simple as a top walker lunch or a PTO reward was mentioned today. This really motivates these fundraisers and provides an incentive to help other walkers reach this coveted top walker status. Number four, life is why consumer. Are you a retail business? Some of our biggest HeartWalk supporters include AT&T, Advanced Auto Parts, and Kirkland's. They extend their HeartWalk support by inviting their customers to make a donation at the register or through an online transaction. So many companies have found this to be a natural fit with their business and say their customers love the ability to give back into a cause that they know makes a difference in their community. Number five, matching gifts. One easy way to jumpstart your fundraising is to offer a company match for donations that are raised when you jumpstart your walker recruitment on Rally Day, just like what you heard from regional management. Now, I also get to share what's new this year. Our 2022 campaign is going to have some exciting additions, starting with our new coach experience, with a coach registration incentive and new coach reward center. All coaches who are registered 12 weeks prior to your local event will receive their very own official coach jersey to wear proudly as they set out to recruit their walkers and raise awareness for their campaign and our mission. We know from feedback, our coaches like to be asked early, so they have time to plan, and coaches who register early raise an average of $500 more. It makes a big difference. They're going to register at some point, so why not do it on time and get this exclusive jersey? This is certainly something that your coaches will not want to miss out on. So make sure you're getting the word out that 12 weeks before your citywide deadline, they can be signed up as coaches to get this jersey. We're also excited to announce our new Coach Rewards Center, where your coaches have the opportunity to earn new exclusive coach gear like coach branded ball caps and premium apparel when their team hits fundraising milestones like $1,000, $2,500, or $5,000. We want to thank our coaches for their leadership and recognize their efforts. Rounding out the coach experience is the National Coach Kickoff. Mark your calendar for January 26th. That's January 26th for the National Coach Kickoff. Join us to hear from our top coaches, their tips and tricks, like you heard today from your peers. This will go a level deeper in motivating your teams throughout your campaign. Plus, you will not want to miss the HeartWalk Reward Center fashion show. It's a favorite of mine, featuring survivors and thrivers from all across the country. So feel free to attend with them. So speaking of survivors and thrivers, we're going to take a moment to hear from two very special guests that remind us what really matters. Joining us from Los Angeles is Danielle Armstead and her daughter, Chandler. Thank you both for being with us today. Danielle, Chandler, good to see you. I think a lot of people on this call will be surprised to learn that at just 3 years old, Chandler has had multiple heart surgeries. Danielle, could you share what your family has experienced with Chandler's heart journey?
Yes, so Chandler was actually, while she was in my womb, we discovered that she had a congenital heart defect. So at 12 days old, she had her first open heart surgery. And then again, at 6 months, she's had her second. And in January, she will have her third. She was actually just in the hospital in November, not last week, not even a week ago, for her heart cath. She did have to stay overnight. And my family, through prayer, we have stood strong, and just the love and support that my family has shown me has gotten us through all of this past 3 years.
Daniel, I'm so glad you're able to hold Chandler and be home with her for the holidays that are coming up. This must just have been incredible and just so special to have those precious moments together. Christmas will be here before you know it. Can you tell us what you were going through from an emotional standpoint while all of this was happening with Chandler? I can't even imagine, but take us back for those who maybe haven't experienced this before.
So many thoughts. My first thought was how miraculous it was that they could determine this congenital heart defect before she was even born. And then you go into, am I going to be able to take care of this baby? What kind of baby will they be? Will they be sickly? Will they be lively? How will this affect my life? I have another daughter who is now 15. So was that going to take me away from being able to share experiences with her? So lots of emotions running through getting the initial information of this heart defect.
Yeah, Daniel, I know that you're incredibly thankful to so many doctors and nurses who were able to so quickly determine what Chandler was experiencing. The new technology that was available, what was the difference here, that making that care available for your family? The fact that these breakthroughs were available, what did it mean for your family?
It meant that I was able to prepare, if you will, to know that when she was born, that I would possibly not be able to hold her. I know the Lion King said that. That I would possibly not be able to hold her, that she may have to go straight to the NICU. I was able to hold her though. And like I said, just being able to know that I will need to go to the NICU and I had bags packed. I was prepared to just be at the hospital versus when I had my daughter 15 years ago, that technology wasn't available. I would have been in the hospital expecting a healthy baby and it would have been a shock. So very grateful to all of the resources.
Chandler, I love that red bow in your hair. That's so, so pretty. Did you wear that today for us for the Heart Association?
No, I wear that for Cheyenne, my sister's school.
Oh, that's so pretty. That's so good. Chandler, your mom says that you like to dance and do gymnastics. What's your favorite thing about dancing? Do you like the costumes?
Yeah, no. I just love the superhero, the wolf costume, and the wolf hair.
Oh, I bet that's so pretty.
We have one thing.
One white piece.
White here. White here.
She's explaining her costume, her Halloween costume.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Chandler, and your mom for dancing and making our hearts happy. We can tell by your smile how much you love to dance. I can only imagine how good you are. So, Danielle, could you share with us how you got involved with the AHA and how that has helped your family? So just thinking about what the AHA has meant in this journey for you.
I actually, my job, Optum, we have teams at Optum, and after the first year of just seeing how resilient Chandler has been with all of the doctors and everything that they've helped us with, I decided to spearhead a team and coach a team, and just being able to share. They reached out to me because they heard about her story, and just being able to share and reach out, even if I get to one person, so that they are motivated to see that the Heart Association does help, and they do resources, and they do donate, and they are trying to do the best that they can to make others live a full and healthy life. that is what started me to doing it. So this was our third year, as she'll be 4, walking in the Heart Walk.
Oh, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Danielle and Chandler, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We loved having you join us today. And Chandler, I hope you never stop following your heart, okay?
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you, but first.
They're doing a call. Hold on.
Now it's time for another round of advice from your fellow executive champions and company leaders. Let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm Dana Thacker with Cardinal Health. Our team, Walker Texas Ranger, has supported the Heart Association since 2011. My suggestion is to brainstorm with your team members, come up with events that you can make fun, make a little bit of money, and stick with what works.
Hi, my name is John Ireland and I'm with AT&T. Well, with regards to the Heart Walk and fundraising and recruiting, I would tell you the number one thing is to communicate your message with passion and communicate that message consistently and frequently. Invite as many people as you possibly can to participate, to become a coach, build their own team, and fundraise themselves. Don't be scared to ask a person once, twice, third time's the charm generally.
Things that I've found to be successful are to make it personal, make it fun, and to secure support from a broad range of senior leaders. We make it personal by sharing stories of those we know and love who are affected by heart disease. We make it fun by having people sign up for pies in the face, shaved heads, perms, when we reach certain milestone fundraising totals. And we secure the support of senior leaders, including our CFO, business line presidents, and regional presidents, who also sign up for these milestones. Over the past 3 years, this has become quite an event, and we find more people each year asking to sign up, and we also see the fundraising totals increase. Hey, what time of year is it?
NBA Finals time.
And?
American Heart Walk Association.
And what does that mean? That's right, boys! Do you want one?
Please don't get up.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who shared in the video. Tosh mentioned Giving Tuesday, and we talked about it today. This National Day of Giving is coming up, and it's supporting charities around the globe each Tuesday after Thanksgiving. This year, it's on November 30th. Giving Tuesday is an amazing opportunity to talk about the American Heart Association and invite others to donate and join our Heart Walk campaign as you kick off your fundraising efforts. As Tosh shared, it's the perfect time to ask your executives or friends and family to consider a year-end gift, maybe even with stock or donor-advised funds. As we wrap up, remember what you heard from our speakers. Build your plans now and work with your AHA staff partner to set your goal if you haven't already. Both Raymond James and regional management said doing this early not only made things easier, but it was a big part of their campaign's success. Then, don't forget to recruit your coaches and get them registered 12 weeks before your walk date so they can receive their official coach jersey. The AHA mission is more relevant than ever, and our work is so critical. Your support of the Heart Walk goes a long way in helping families like Danielle and Chandler that have been touched by heart disease and stroke. From the bottom of our hearts, we are grateful that you have chosen to walk alongside us to support the American Heart Association's work that is helping everyone, everywhere, live longer, healthier lives. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting the Heart Walk, and thank you for sharing your enthusiasm so others can be supported and inspired by your success. Together, we are the heart that keeps the AHA beating. Thank you.